Hi everyone, this is Reefer and you're watching at the latest Focus Friday video. So today has been quite a busy day. We've been painting our house, so it's already in the evening. So apologies if this video is a little late. I have been late a couple of times in the last few weeks, but then again, normal life happens. And but anyway, we're here, and today I wanna tell you a little something about my fish. I always like to do an update on the fish, since they are an integral part of of this reef tank, and of course it's always a nice challenge and a nice thing to keep the balance in the fish that you keep in your tank, and make sure you don't have too much, make sure they are compatible. And of course it's always a risk, because, well, sometimes fish act a bit unpredictable, but most of the time you can trust the websites that you search. So if you want to add a fish to your tank, always be sure to do some due diligence. Check beforehand on the internet if they are compatible with your fish. If you have doubts about a certain fish with another fish, just Google it. It will give you a good indication of whether a fish will have a nice time in your tank, and if it will be accepted by the other fish, and even if it will accept the other fish. So for example, adding an aggressive tang in your tank is always a risk, so always be sure to to be diligent and to check beforehand before something bad happens, because that's not nice for your fish, and it could wipe out more than just the fish that you've added. So one of the fish that I've recently added, which I'm actually really happy with, is this Chandini tang, the sailfin. So it's I had a Veliferum before, which is a bit similar, but has a bit different shape and a bit different coloration on its dorsal fins. But this one is just so beautiful. It was a bit big when I bought it, so that was a doubt I had. I wasn't sure if I should buy it or not, because it was already quite large. Then again, my tank is large enough, so I said, well, let's do it anyway. And I'm really happy with that, since it's a very beautiful fish. It's really curious. It eats very well. Actually, it's one of the first there when I start feeding to grab something from the net, and then it's just a very very curious fish. It also is a good grazer, so it's constantly looking on the reef for things to eat, as it's doing right now. You'll see it watching the rocks, looking for anything to eat. There it goes. So really a great addition. I had a little bit of doubt when I added it, because they can, of course, there's more tangs in this tank, like the blue hippo tang, you can see right here, and the Tomini tang, but they are doing well. The only fish that was a bit harassing it was this Foxface. Still now and then is chasing it, but then again it's just it's not that often, so it's already calming down a bit, and the Foxface is a bit chill again after an initial period of harassing it for a bit. Then of course these little Caudernies, or actually they're quite large already, but they are small in comparison to the other fish. They are such nice fish. They are so calm. They're constantly swimming together. Always the male is carrying eggs in its mouth, so they're very productive. I have given them a black large sea urchin to when they spawn their young ones, that they can go inside the spikes of the black sea urchin. They haven't done that so far, so I think they still need to come up with that clever idea. I've seen it happen a lot of times before, so I'm sure that in the end they will do it. But yeah, I really enjoy these fish, even though they are so simple. You can buy them at literally every fish store. You can breed them, you can raise them. I've raised these two from very small ones from a fellow reefer where I got them, and they have just been doing great ever since. So there's also a group of chromis in my tank, these blue ones, and they're always swimming together. And I've got these from the man that I got my tank from. So this new tank, I got it from a fellow reefer who was quitting, and he had also had these blue chromis fish with it. So I got them, and well, I said, okay, let's try. I hope they get along well with the other fish, especially with the Avansi Antias, which are right here. So the pink and yellow ones, but they're swimming together a lot. So yeah, I think they're enjoying themselves. They're already quite large, so but that's fine. They're nice fish. They show together, and they're just a nice fish to have in the tank as a, well, not as a filler, but they're present. They're nice that they swim together, so they form a little group. Yeah, really great. And of course, one of the most beautiful fish in the world, the regal angelfish. This is the Red Sea one variant, which has an orange belly. There's also another one, I forgot what it's called, but it's the same species but from a different region, and they're a little less beautiful but still very beautiful fish. So this Pyroplites dicanthus, a very nice fish. There's only one downside: they will eat some of your corals, so that's something to consider. Look, it's actually grabbing one of those zoanthus right here, which actually retracted a bit when it did. You can see right here, the one in the middle of the screen now, it just bit that one. Oh, hello guys. But that's fine, they grow quite fast, so I'm not too worried for it. Although it's a fish to watch. I know one of you commented and said I would remove the fish from the tank altogether, but I think it's too beautiful of a fish to do that. So I'll, even though I understand your comment, and I also hate it when they eat the corals, I still think it's worth the trade-off, since that's what they do in real life as well. These fish, they eat corals. It's on their menu. It's in their diet. So yeah, why? You can't do much about that. So, the Foxface, which I mentioned before, it's also has been in the tank for quite a while. I really like it. It's a big, bulky fish, but they eat algae like no other fish, especially green bubble algae. Whenever I don't have a Foxface in my tank, I can count on it that the bubble algae will return in greater numbers than ever. So having one of these is, besides having it as a beautiful addition to the tank, it's also a very useful fish for me. So that's why I've always kept one in my tank, and I will always have one in my tank too. So yeah, let's end it with the copper band, the mascot of the tank. It's even in the logo of the channel. So yeah, this fish has been in my tank for so long. In November, this next month, it has been in there for 5 years. Having one of these fish for 5 years is amazing. It's so used to me. It follows me around. It always eats first. I literally, when I put my hand in the tank, it tries to, he thinks I'm adding food for it, so he's always very curious and always very, very alert when I'm here. So I really enjoy this fish, and I would seriously hate it if it ever died, but then again, it will happen, but for now, it won't. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you.